Good morning and welcome to yet another Friday. I can't believe it's only 2 weeks until Easter Day now. The time seems to be flying past. And actually, more pertinently, I can't believe that it's now a year since we've been in lockdown. A year almost exactly. And I just noticed this morning that this is in fact my 52nd Friday Ramble, 52nd. So how many weeks are there in a year? 52, I think. So there we go. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like about 400. No, just joking. But yeah, it's extraordinary, really, how long this has all been going on, and we've sort of taken it for granted now a little bit. But as we've said recently, you know, things are starting to look up. Even if there seems to be a bit of a blockage in the vaccine production, we are hopeful that it's not going to affect the government's roadmap for releasing lockdown, and that it won't be too long before we can all get together again. And certainly spring is very much in the air at the moment. We've been going out every day. We've been trying to do 5 miles a day walking. Quite impressive, isn't it? And actually, when you set your mind to it, you don't even think about it. You get chatting about this and that, going down all those lovely leafy lanes, and suddenly you've done 5 miles or so. I think Gwen and I are getting a bit obsessive because we've got these watches that measure our steps, and we're very competitive to see who gets the most steps in a day. Gwen, being Irish, of course, also insisted that we did celebrate St. Patrick's Day on Wednesday. We only had 1 Guinness. But we needed to do that, really, you know. There would have been no excuse not to. So I hope if you enjoyed St. Patrick's Day as well, that you managed a wee little drinky too. Good. So how about Quick Fire 5? For last week, I had again 1 or 2 people getting in touch with me, feeling quite confident that they'd got all the answers right. So see how you got on. So first question was, which composer lived in the Red House? Well, that wasn't too difficult, was it? The answer is Benjamin Britten. Question number 2 might have caught you out, but we had a couple of people who were very keen to let me know that they knew. You know who you are. Who is the former organist of Chichester Cathedral and well-known composer who was noted and famed for being a drunkard and a notorious swearer? Well, the answer was Thomas Wilkes, who wrote all that lovely music, including Hosanna to the Son of David. But he was fond of more than 1 drink on St. Patrick's Day, I think. Question number 3. Herbert Howells wrote lots of settings of the canticles. I gave you 4 and asked you which one did he not write. And they were the Dallas service, the New College service, the Washington service, and St. Augustine's in Birmingham. Did you get that one right? The answer is Washington. He didn't write a setting for Washington. So well done if you got that right. Question number 4, a little bit tricky. What is coloratura singing? Well, it's basically, the style is sort of very richly ornate, ornamented singing, you know, lots of flash trills and all sorts of other ornaments. It was a sort of a particular style at a certain time, coloratura singing, and particularly in opera. And question number 5, in a cathedral choir, that's choir spelled with a Q, which side is decani and which side is cantorus? Well, decani, decanus, the side of the dean, is usually on the right-hand side as you look at the high altar, and cantorus, the side of the praecantor, the precentor, is usually on the left-hand side as you look at the high altar. So I was always on deck, always on the right-hand side. So I've got a bit of a sort of slant towards that. I like people on decani. So there we go. So for this week, 5 more questions. And these 5 questions, there's a bit of a theme this week. I mentioned that it was St. Patrick's Day on Wednesday. So there's a theme going here. So question number 1, where is St. Patrick buried? Do you know precisely where he's buried? Where he's reputed to be buried? Do you know? I think our rector will know that question. Question number 2, which well-known hymn is set to the tune of St. Patrick's Breastplate? Do you know that one? Question number 3. There are 2 Protestant cathedrals, very unusually, 2 Protestant cathedrals in Dublin. Do you know their names, the saints they're dedicated to? Question number 4. What do Charles Stanford and Charles Wood have in common? What do Wood and Stanford, the 2 composers that we sing their music quite a lot, what do they have in common? And question number 5, and you'll be getting the theme now, won't you? Where would you find St Finbarr's Cathedral? Where's St Finbarr's Cathedral? There we go. So that is my quiz for this week. Good luck. See how you get on. So this is my point, isn't it? www.swanishteam.com is the parish website. There'll be details for this coming Sunday, which is Passion Sunday. And then for Holy Week, there are going to be some special services online as well as live, as it were. So do keep your eye on the parish website for different liturgies and music to listen to and to sing along to. So for this week's suggestion, I hope you enjoyed last week. This week, slightly longer pieces of music, but nonetheless very, very beautiful. I'm going to recommend to you this week the wonderful settings of the Lamentations of Jeremiah by Thomas Tallis. Tallis is one of the foremost Tudor composers, and interesting, along with Byrd at one point in their lives, they had they were both favourites of Queen Elizabeth, and they were given a patent and were allowed to control the publication of music. They were the only people for a while who were allowed to publish music. But Tallis wrote a lot of wonderful music. He worked for a long time in the Chapel Royal, as a lot of those Tudor musicians did. But he set the first 2 lessons of Maundy Thursday, which were both taken from the book of Jeremiah. He set them to music. He set them to lower voice music, alto, 2 tenors, 2 basses. And he set them in 2 parts. There's part 1 and part 2, extraordinarily enough. And they're not necessarily meant to be sung together, but they often are. But they're quite long, 8-9 minutes at least, the first one, and a bit longer, the second one. But the music is sensationally beautiful. Beautiful melodies, Tallis writes. Wonderful counterpoint. Lovely feeling of imitation between the parts. And they also use that thing, which we've come across quite a lot now, of false relations, which is where you get sort of an E natural clashing with an E flat or something like that. So it sounds dissonant, but actually it's also really beautiful. And as I say, it sets the sort of feeling, the lamentation, the feeling of desolation for this time of year. But again, it's one of those pieces, or they both are, excuse me, that one doesn't really need to sort of discuss. You just need to listen to it and just let it wash over you, because it's so very beautiful. So I'm pointing you to 2 versions by the Tallis scholars, and you've got the music in front of you as well, so you can follow the music, and I'll put a translation up for you as well, so you can see that and enjoy. It's, of course, we know at St Mary's we've sung for a couple of years now the setting of the Lamentations by Bairstow chanted. For those of you that haven't sung that, don't know that, that's worth looking up on YouTube too, by Sir Edward Bairstow. Beautiful chants. But this is a different approach to the Lamentations, and extraordinarily beautiful. And so I really hope you enjoy it, and tell your friends about them. Okay, good. So I'm now going to go downstairs. I better not do another a cappella singing lesson. So I'll go down to my piano, which I cleaned this week. So maybe it's a bit better in tune, I don't know. And we'll do some singing. Right, so here we are, ready to sing. I hope you are too. Make sure you're sitting nice and comfortably or standing nice and comfortably. Shoulders down, head nicely balanced, really relaxed, knees not locked. Okay, let's take a couple of deep breaths. Lovely, just breathe in the air of life. And now we'll start off with the siren. We'll start off low and we'll gradually just expand our range. Good. And let's put that siren to music. Let's start in B flat major and we'll just hum and we'll slide up a fifth going like that. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Now let's change to E. E. Keep the slide. E. 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 And change to R. Great, okay. Now, to really get you going, let's do some of our, this exercise, that one, and we'll do a legato, we'll do a staccato one first, really getting your diaphragm going, and then we'll go to a legato, an R. So we'll start with a ha, 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 and then we'll go to a legato. And let's do it 3 times, so just sort of going like this. Like that, all right, and then go like that. I'm not very good at demonstrating it, but you get the idea? So staccato first. If you want to put your hands on your tummy just to feel that diaphragm going, you can, right? 2, 3, 4. And legato. Legato. One more. I'm not very good at this. And you can keep going like that. I really wasn't very good at that, but I hope you were better at it than me. Good. And let us do our old favourite. We haven't done it for a while, do we? A, R, E. Ready? 1, 2, 3. A, R, E. I wasn't a very good role model there, but I hope you managed that all right, just to get your vocal cords going. So that was a bit of fun. So I hope that you have a good weekend, and I gather the weather is going to be quite good, and a good week coming up, and I hope to see you all fairly soon.